Alright guys, if y'all are anything like me, you hate unboxings, so we're going to get through this real quick, but I recently purchased a PERST 2 and noticed that there was very little information on the internet in regards to its capability and how it came and all that stuff, aside from coming directly from the manufacturer. And obviously don't trust manufacturers all that much, so I just wanted to kind of quickly go through what it is I got and how it came. So first things first, it actually came in a pretty nice steel box. This is a little unusual in terms of most of the stuff I've gotten. It's kind of just come in, cardboard, maybe nice cardboard, but for the most part, just generic packing material. This is a little bit different. So have your latch on the front that allows it to come off. And how you will receive your PERST, you have your PERST, you will have a pressure pad, a long pressure pad. It will have an adjustment knob here for power setting, as well as just the pressure itself. I think that was the bag that it came in. The charger for the batteries is a proprietary, or I guess that's the European Russian mount. So I have to find a converter for that. This is the charger for the battery. So this bit unscrews, you drop the battery in there, and sorry, I got that backwards. This side unscrews, put the battery in there, and then that side plugs in, is my understanding. Comes with a spare battery. This is all in Russian, so I don't know what any of that says, but I'm sure it says supercharged batteries, very good for laser. So it comes with two, one that's in the unit, one that is an extra. Comes with Allen keys for making adjustments to the unit itself. That's how you are going to be zeroing the illuminator. A little screwdriver for little screwdriver needs, a car charger, or whatever that type of charger is called, as well as another pressure pad. So this is like a smaller configuration that's more of a push button, as opposed to this one being more like a standard pressure pad. Okay, so you have a manual. The unit itself, you have your battery compartment. You also have your pressure pad on the back. What is interesting about the pressure pad is it is utilizing a interesting little latching system where it's spring loaded, as opposed to kind of having to jerk it out from some of the other units. I don't know if you can see that. That unit you hold that spring down, and that's what's actually releasing the connection on there, which is pretty convenient. Seems to be pretty good latch on it. So the unit itself, you have the off position. On the top, you have visible lights and lasers. On the bottom, you have infrared illuminator and laser. So going from the first one would be laser. There you go. Now what is nice is you have these buttons on the top that are your more power and less power. So I'm not sure where so you can crank that up, and it's a pretty hefty vis laser. I've yet to find too many applications where I need it, but it has that capability. Flashlight, same thing. So it starts off at a fairly low light level. You can then crank it on up, and it gets closer to like 1,000 lumen flashlight. I'll be doing some low light stuff to try to show its capability in a later video. Then you can also have the last setting, which is light plus laser. I've been playing with this as a configuration. I think it'd be interesting if you're running night vision and someone were to turn on white lights, you have a quick button that allows you to switch over to white light and laser. So you're not having to get your head down on the sights if you're trying to do something quickly. But anyways, we're going to play with that for a while and figure out what all that entails. Let's see. Mounting. I had heard stories that these things could lose zero. It seems to be pretty snug when I put it on my rifle. This spring tension that is on this screw seems to keep this pretty darn snug and doesn't seem to let it move very much. I could be wrong with some wear and tear, but at least in my immediate use, it seems to be holding up just fine. Let's see. So you have two pressure buttons that are built into the unit itself. You have the top pressure button. I'd say this is your primary button. It's the most quick to react in terms of you press the button and it comes on. I have noticed that there is a slight, ever so slight delay in when you press the button and how quickly the laser comes on. It's probably half a second. It's not bad. If you're used to a full power PEC, you might notice that a little bit more. But it is, you press the button and it's not even half a second, but it is, at least for me, a little bit noticeable. On the back, you have another pressure pad that works very similar. I would say it's a little bit more spongy than this top one. The top one is definitely a more tactile feel, similar to what you'd get from a PEC or a D-ball. This back one is a little bit more spongy, but it does get the job done. Okay, so on the Illuminator, what is interesting is that it comes with this diffuser. If you are in a house or a really tight area, this thing diffuses very, very well. It just floods the entire room. It looks like you might have your, if you're using night vision, it's gonna look like you have your Illuminator on your nod itself, which is pretty impressive. You take this off and you have your standard nice cone that you would see from like a PEC. I have noticed that you can't tighten that beam all that much. You can't tighten it sort of like another laser like you can on a PEC. But depending on what you're using, I don't know if that's very applicable. I've actually never used my PEC in that way. Anyways, making adjustments, you're gonna make adjustments. Here's your windage for your laser. Your Viz laser is slave to your IR or vice versa. And then on the front, you can see them, these little holes here are your Illuminator adjustments, where you will use that Allen key that's somewhere around here down in those holes, and you would make your adjustments. Then you would have to confirm what movement you've seen after you've put that down in there and tweaked it a little bit. But anyways, quick unboxing. Just want to show you all what this thing looks like and how it comes. And hopefully I'll try to get a couple more comparisons between some other lasers so we have a little bit more information on the internet on how this thing works.